important that we have our statistics, because so often when you pick up national reports, the Virgin Islands statistics, because we're such a tiny community, we're often left out. And so you don't see, in fact, sometimes you see Puerto Rico because they've got a much larger population, but you just don't see the Virgin Islands. And so we thought this was really a very, very important initiative. And we're so thankful to the Annie E. Casey Foundation for funding it consistently over the years since 2000, and to the Community Foundation for making it one of their priorities. So that's really been a blessing.
And for community stakeholders such as ourselves, it's easy to pick up the tool, easy to read at a glance, and then use it to write programs, and using the data to apply for grants, where it says, okay, these statistics are relevant to the children of the Virgin Islands. When we're looking at, I know that in education, we went to the reporting of Kids Count. And one of the initiatives that we really started to look at was, well, we realized that we need to channel our energy towards the front, to the children, early childhood.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that in terms of Kids Count.
Well, all through the years, as Kids Count has done research, everything has pointed to the fact that if you want to make a difference in the lives of children, you have to start at the beginning. And that improving the quality of the early childhood community was where we decided we needed to stress our importance. So we've been reporting consistently over the years on early childhood education in the territory. And we have, in fact, had some very notable successes in the community because of that. Our rules and regulations for child care centers have been revised for the first time since 1980.
I know you had some resistance towards that because no one likes change, but we know it's all good.
It's true, but and some of it we acknowledge is not going to be easy for current child care providers to come into compliance immediately. So the Department of Human Services has made steps that they can move toward in compliance. But it is the way that we're going to raise the quality of early childhood education in our territory. And the Department of Human Services has, provided means of assisting the child care providers in the territory to meeting those. Through the Community Foundation of the Virgin Islands, we've established the Family Connection, which is a wonderful resource program for parents and child care providers, where they can come in, they can borrow resources, they can borrow research materials. We have a early childhood person who goes into the centers and does modeling of things that help to improve their programs. They can come into the center and get, so that has been a very successful initiative that we hope to expand to St. Croix in the near future, and hopefully that it'll grow bigger in St. Thomas. We had, in 2010, we had a business leaders summit on early childhood education, and we think it was very successful. We had quite a variety of businesses that came, and it was a full day in St. Croix and a full day in St. Thomas, and we presented the business aspect of how early childhood education can help businesses, and how businesses needed to invest in early childhood education, because that's where the investment counts. There's been studies that have shown that $1 spent in early childhood education saves $17 later on in juvenile justice and foster care and
remedial intervention
programs. So we presented that to the business community. We've gotten a great buy-in from them. We hope to do some follow-up soon. The creation of the Children and Families Council by the governor has really helped, and under that, the Early Childhood ECAC, Early Childhood Advisory Committee, you get so used to acronyms, has brought a community focus on early childhood. So we think that we're making good steps.
I know you are. When we get back, we'll like to hear more about Kids Count, some of the indicators that pretty much allows us to line ourselves with in terms of what we can do as a community to address the issues that are affecting our children in the Virgin Islands. So stay tuned.
The Virgin Islands Marine Academy is preparing our children for careers in the marine industry by offering a full curriculum of courses and certification in crew member sailing, safe motoring, sport and game fishing, PADI open water, lifeguard training, CPR, and first aid.
The U.S. Virgin Islands depends mostly on tourism, and like any other island that is considered a destination of choice, water is central to our survival. And these waters offer sport fishing, motoring, sailing, diving, and many other recreational activities that are second to none. All of this depends on well-trained, qualified individuals to help support the system known as the marine industry.
Should you choose to make a donation on behalf of the Virgin Islands Marine Academy, not only is it tax deductible, all monies received go directly to the support of the Academy.
That's what we came up with the show. Interesting people. We wanted to be one-on-one, conversation, not your traditional talk show. We really want to provide you with the real facts, the real talk, one-on-one.
United for Solutions, helping to produce television programming that informs and inspires the community to take action on social issues.
Back with co-directors of VI Kids Count, Kim and Judy. What is your wish in terms of, as it relates to this project, when you look at outcomes, what, if I were to say, if I can grant you your wish, based on all the research that you've put in, all the data that you have put together with Kids Count, what would that be?
Cira, I think we can go back to the theme of this year's book, which is investing in our children's future.
Right.
And my wish would be that that's what we continue to invest in. All the research has shown us that our children's future is where we need to keep our investments. That's what pays off in the long run. We, in this book, report, as Kim said for the first time, on public supports in the territory.
Right.
Those are supports like WIC, the Women, Infants, and Children Feeding Programs, SNAP, which used to be called a food stamp program, TANF, which used to be called Aid to Dependent Children. These are our government supports that have been the safety net for our children, particularly our low-income children, that keep families from falling deeper into poverty. And so my wish would be that as we look at budgets, and we know, I mean, it's a reality, they're going to have to be budget cuts, but my wish would be to save the programs that invest in our children's future, because those are the programs that are going to help our children improve the situation in our territory in years to come.
That's correct. And Kim, what is your take on it?
I would add to what Judy said, that investments are made in early childhood education. Interventions when children are small, between the ages of birth and 3, are very important to the way that children approach learning. When children have high-quality childcare, where they are interacted with by their caregivers, by their parents, by whoever is providing care. Those parents or caregivers are, when they talk to their kids and look for answers from their kids, when they engage their kids in the kind of day-to-day learning. How do you feel about this? How does this relate to something that we spoke about before? What other colors do you see in this picture? What's the dog doing? Going to the grocery store, find me something that's red and round. Right. The kind of thing that engages children's learning process early. In child care situations, the early learning centers, I think we're looking for investments in improvements in those early learning centers as much as is possible. I know that when early learning providers, child care providers, are receive training in what's developmentally appropriate for children, preschool age children. They realize that children learn in very age-specific ways,
Right.
and that so investing in our caregivers' education is a good thing because they bring that into the classroom with the
Right.
children.
That's true.
And create more engagement with the children to love learning and become lifelong learners.
Right.
So that would be my
Where
wish.
can our viewing audience pick up the copies, the most recent copy of Kids Count? Where do you distribute these? Where can we have access to them? I know that I clicked online, but I know that I'd like to have also my hard copy.
Yeah.
I'm still from the old school.
Want the paper
right, I
in
want the
your
paper
hand.
in my hand. Right.
Copies of the book are available at the Community Foundation of the Virgin Islands, which is located in Royal Dane Mall.
Right.
And they're free.
Thank
There's no
you.
cost for them. So one can call the Community Foundation at 774-6031 and request a copy be mailed, or you can stop by and pick up a
pick it up.
copy. As you said, it's also available online at www.cfvi.net,
Right.
which is our home website. And there's a little Kids Count button on that website. You click on the Kids Count button and it takes you right to our Kids Count data.
Okay.
So it's very easy to access.
Okay, all right. Well, I'd like to thank you so very much for coming out and allowing us to share this insightful information. We understand that as a community, we all have to embrace the fact that our children come first. We either have to invest at the front end, which is early education, or invest on the back end. Some of it is not so necessarily nice, which is the judicial system, incarceration, creating jails. So I agree with you that if we really put our efforts forth and invest in our children in the front end, our results will be so much better, and our community will definitely benefit greatly. We thank you so much for all your hard work that you do, and I want to encourage you to please continue to push and give us all the data for the Virgin Islands. Continue to put this, allow the community to know what's out there so that we can make a difference. Thank you so very much for coming
you.
on One-on-One with Cira Burke.
Thank you,
Thank
Cira.
you. And you stay tuned again. Remember, you can pick them up at the Community Foundation. You can download it on the internet. Make it happen. Make a decision. Invest in the lives of our children. We thank you for tuning in.
United for Solutions, helping to produce television programming that informs and inspires the community to take action on social issues.